All right, guys, welcome back. We are watching the Tatami Galaxy, episode 6. It has been a little bit. I know we missed a week of this show because of me moving and everything. I just didn't have time. I don't know. There had to be a loser. Unfortunately, it was this. But you know what? We're back. We're watching it. So, sounds good. Last time, we had the episode where he joined the weird bee honey cult thing. That was something. I'm still not entirely happy, I guess, with my analysis of that episode. I've been thinking about it a lot. And I don't know, I just can't really decide if I even was remotely in the correct ballpark with what I thought about that episode. But who knows? I'm going to say I'm right. So it sounds good to me. But we're watching episode 6. You can line you and copy up with this if you want to. We are starting in 3, 2, 1. Where are we? Oh, we're sitting on a toilet. Okay. Surrounded by 3 women. Okay. Sure. It's, yeah. Okay. It's the one with the real body. I saw that one of those was the doll. Yeah, yeah, her. Okay, all right, all right. Oh, not he has to make a decision. Oh no, he can't do this. It's impossible. Okay, no idea who Keiko is. Yeah, or the so okay. So we're trying to decide between these 3 women. We're in some I who knows how we got into this situation. And one of them is like actually right there that he could, pick. But of course, just like anything else, he's struggling with it. So I guess that makes sense. It's interesting, of course, that Akashi is not one of the choices. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know. Like, obviously for him, the fear of making decisions is very much tied to his whole thing about wanting a perfect life. It's just not something I ever really thought about before, but it makes sense. Like his whole thing about making a choice ever. It's like you've made your decision. If you haven't made your decision yet, then making the decision is the point where your future is like decided, I guess. And that's why it's so hard for him to decide on things, I guess. All right. Mm-hmm. Which one did you join this time, huh? It's uh-huh, of course. Sure. Okay. Sounds good. I don't know if that's going to work out though. I don't know if that actually does sound good. I think you're probably taking too much of a burden here by joining multiple. Okay, sure. Learn English. Why not? Sure. I guess there's no downside. I guess I can agree with that, but still. Come on. Man, learning a new language is rough. Especially for someone like him with the way he like thinks about things. Yeah, taking it so seriously, it's gonna be difficult. Hmm. Yeah, exactly. He'd rather just say nothing. Because speaking a new language is like embarrassing. Yeah. No, you could though. Okay. The dental IQ. Okay. What? All right. Sure. Very good. Ozu. Yeah. I could tell from the music. Yeah, he mentioned that before. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I imagine she wears gloves, so. Are you sure? Maybe. Maybe. Unclear. At least that's how he views them, that's for sure. Hmm. Sounds good to me. The print shop. Hmm. Oh, God. That's not good. He starts cheating. Hmm. Yeah. I guess he's even busier than our main character is. He's involved with more circles than him still. Sure. Just go on a rant about Ozu. Good job. At least you can call him your friend. There we go. Come on. Very good. Very good. I like that actually. How Ozu is the one bringing color to his life, you know? Like, come on. Oh, God. I just say no. Exactly. Wow. Surprised he would ask that. Or be able to ask that. Hmm? Yeah? Oh, of course. He's way too busy for any of that, obviously. Yeah. Oh, exchanging letters. What a weird thing to say. Oh, God. Hmm. Okay. I like this. I like the imagery of Ozu, like being the one who supports him in a way, because I really think that's much more close to accurate than the way our main character views Ozu, you know? Hmm. This episode has felt very different than the previous ones. Why is she here? I am very surprised. Mm-hmm. Sure, if you say so. In Paris, I that is not true. Okay, so he's catfish. All right, so he's catfishing a girl and making a bunch of shit up. Good. Higuchi. Oh God. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so obviously, if he doesn't know who this girl is, and their last name is Higuchi, um, you do have to make a decision eventually. Uh-oh. Something is wrong. Hmm. She said she would ask you when she's close to you, yeah, essentially. Oh, come on. Oh, you see, what, God, what, man, insane, crazy. Like, no, he doesn't have anything to do. It's, oh my God. Literally, just because she is like taking the next step, he's like uncomfortable with that, I guess. Like, that's too far for him. He can't. Oh my God. Sure? 2 years. Just, man. Oh, awesome. Great. Why is she here in the first place? Him being more comfortable with the doll is very interesting. And with Keiko. Oh God, okay. Like it of course it makes sense that he would be more attached to these two like very nebulous not real relationships than the actual human, you know. Mhm. Exactly. The opportunity is still there. What a shot. Mhm. Sure. Sounds good. That seems like the correct decision, essentially, to me. Joe Gasaki, at your post, okay. It has, yeah, with the doll, right? He's protecting it or something, I guess. He just instantly turns red. No, you don't. Oh, God. Oh, they're like falling apart. They're the line art, basically. Oh, God. We're gonna die of alcohol poisoning, so unlucky. And Hanuki is also participating. Just gotta hold on. Oh God, he's dead. Oh, I guess you win because he collapsed more. Have higher standards, huh? That's how he thinks about it, like with himself too, I guess. Just what a thing to say when you were the one who turned her down. Oh no. She'll what? She'll what? What is gonna happen? She, like, this doll. Oh, he's going over there. Yeah. I think it's too late to go to the cafe with Keiko. So, what is this voice? I mean, obviously, it's like him. It's in his head. The situation, I guess. Okay. All right. Sure. The accursed gate of puberty. But no, he can't bring himself to do it. What? Like, I guess. Like, obviously she's like blackout drunk, so that's kind of bad, but I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Okay. Stop. Stop. Okay. Hmm? Well, he's gonna go, but then he's gonna go hide in the bathroom. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Have to maintain her honor, of course. He is gonna lose it. Okay. He can't do it. It's all over. I don't know. She seems kind of fine, actually. Can't tell. Can't decide. Oh God. Not again. It's chaos. The control room is in disorder. Yeah, give us the rundown. All right, all right. Adrenaline pumping through our veins. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Of course. It's just so weird that he feels like he has to resist it so much, you know? Yeah, why? Okay, sure. Happened to her pride. What? It just, like, what is he talking about? Your pride? Like, I guess it makes sense. Like, what am I looking at right now? Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. Like, is she gonna stick her hand down there? What are we doing? I I doubt it. Please don't. Oh, okay. It's over. I what like okay. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Yeah. Of course. Run away. Run away immediately. Can't do it. Great. Fantastic. It's very interesting. The way that he feels the need to act like this about his sexuality, I guess. But it makes sense. The way he keeps talking about it being his pride. Um, I think there's something there. We'll talk about it. I think the choice is obvious. I don't know if it's any three of these. I think the opportunity's still there, but no, probably not. No, that would be ridiculous. That would be crazy. Surely not at all. Mm-hmm. What are you talking about? What are you Oh, never mind. Never mind. Okay, he's just locked out from it completely. He can't do it. Oh my God. Win it, win! Yeah, win! I is it just because she's drunk? I just think he's making that up. I don't think that's really a big thing. Like, he was resisting it already before. So, yeah, like, what are you talking about? Oh, man. Okay. What? It was actually Ozzy the whole time. He couldn't tell. Literally. What are you doing? Uh-huh. She sure did. I don't know. I don't know. I can't decide. The lines of consent are maybe a little bit blurred, but I don't actually think that's his real reason for caring about this and acting like this at all. Of course, of course. Ugh, God. Gonna take a look at the opportunity, huh? Oh, no more Kaori. No more Keiko. I guess he just didn't pick any of them, basically, right? I mean, yeah. Well, I guess he tried to pick Hanuki, but he just couldn't. God. Hmm. Just what a sad way to view things, really. Okay, sure. Okay. Okay, so what? We're just gonna go back to this decision instead of an entirely. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. We're just gonna go back to the beginning of this choice. Sure. Okay, that was good. Felt different than the previous episodes, that's for sure. I don't know. Hmm. I don't know. I just have to think about his mindset and just like how wrong it is. It's like relatable though. I think just about everyone can understand him on some level, I guess, or everyone has thoughts like this in some way, right? Certainly not to the same degree as him, most likely. Hmm. But I don't know. If we just go back in time to the decision, then what? He's really gonna pick the doll as his Cowrie as like his true love. Like it makes sense, right? Like for him, I think why he would be so infatuated with it. I guess because I guess you could call it perfect in a way, right? Oh god, don't play the next episode. Okay, we will talk about it in the discussion. Okay, let's talk about the episode. So yeah, I don't know. This felt very different than the previous episode. That's for sure. Kind of feels like, I mean, if anything, and if we're going back to this decision again, oh, instead of going back to join new circles, then like it kind of feels like a new section of the story, I guess. It feels like we might be entering a new format almost, I guess. You know what I mean? Because I guess the assumption here is that in the next episode, he's going to pick one of the others instead of Hanuki. Even though he didn't even actually pick Hanuki, he still ran away. Um, he's going to pick one of them instead of Hanuki, right? He has the three choices. And at the end, he said, like, oh, I want to go back just a few hours and make a different decision. And obviously, how many episodes we have left? We have 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we still. I was gonna say maybe I wonder if this is the rest of the show, right? And it would end with him picking Akashi, who's the obvious actual choice that he should make. But I guess we'll have a few episodes for that. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, like I guess in general, this episode is we are really honing in now on specifically his issue being like the process of making a decision and how he just can't do that. You know what I mean? Like, I guess it shows that even if his previous decisions that he makes, like the joining the club circle, right? That's what we've been focused on for so long. even if that goes well in some way and he decides that that hasn't ruined his life, unless he changes his mentality about, I guess, what decisions are, then he is never going to be able to be happy, right? Like, this episode wasn't at all focused on him thinking he chose the wrong circle. You know what I mean? Um, it wasn't like, oh, because I joined the English speaking circle, that means my life was ruined, right? No, this entire episode was focused on it. If anything, it led him to more happiness than the circles we've seen before, right? I guess if you can call his weird shit with Kaori and Keiko happiness. I don't know what's going on with that. But it led him to a close relationship with Hanuki, at least. And it's not like that was a bad thing, right? But it's still, in the end, we're still in the same position. It's just a different decision now that he's freaking out over. And he doesn't know what to do. Um, and again, we've talked about this before about how, like, the reason why he hones in on one specific decision and, like, thinks it's the big thing that is gonna determine his entire life. Um, I don't even think there's anything, like, special or specific about, like, the club circle decision where you can make that, like, analysis of it. You know what I mean? It's very much like he is kind of arbitrarily picking certain moments in his life where he thinks that it's like, if I had done something differently at this moment, then everything would be different. You know what I mean? Because really, it's his behavior day by day that obviously shapes his life, right? Just like for anyone, you know, there's never like you make one decision. I mean, you know, I guess there are some crazy decisions you can make that really will change your entire life forever, and there's nothing you can do. But that's kind of few and far between. But it's like your decisions day by day that you make that are what shapes your life and who you are, you know? Um, so his extreme fear of making a decision in this case, like, I guess it's interesting because we actually get to see him agonizing over it, where before, with the club circle decision, he always just tells us which one he ended up picking, you know, and then it's like him agonizing over his decision later. In this moment, we're actually getting to see his choice paralysis in the moment, you know what I mean? So it's, yeah, a little bit different in that case. Oh, God. And, like, I guess there's something to be said here about how two of his options here are just like they don't even really make sense to me. Like, one of them is a doll, which just isn't real, right? Like, I what could you say that that decision represents? Deciding to be with Kaori, right? Like, it's not a real choice. You know, it's almost like Kaori and her. If he decided to pick her, that he's basically just opting out of making a decision at all because she's just not real, right? It wouldn't lead to a real relationship. There wouldn't be anything there. You know what I mean? Maybe that's harsh. Maybe that's not the right way to look at it exactly. Because I guess he can pretend he has some kind of relationship with her. I guess it would just be a fully one-sided relationship. And maybe that's the kind of thing that in his head that he thinks he wants, you know? Because he is freaking out over Hanuki and her behavior too. You know what I mean? Like, that's what led him to run into the bathroom. So maybe in his mind, he thinks he needs someone like Kaori who isn't a person, who isn't a who, it's an it. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't actually have to have a relationship, or essentially, like, there was no actual outcome to his decision in that case. Like, you know what I mean? I guess it's different than not making a decision at all. It just is, like, barely. You know what I mean? I don't know, maybe I'd have to think about it more, but to me, having a relationship with a doll is just it's him like skipping the actual part of having a relationship. You know what I mean? It's like him. I guess in a sense, it's like he's kind of getting the general idea of having what he wants, which is a relationship with a perfect raven-haired maiden. But he doesn't actually have to worry about the relationship. You know what I mean? And then Keiko is interesting. I guess he has this relationship with her. Well, her last name's Higuchi, so I don't know about that. Um, where he doesn't know her, right? He's never seen her or met her before. He just purely has a, like, intellectual relationship with her. I don't know if that's the right word. Where they just write letters to each other, and he makes shit up. He talks about going to Paris. um, so he just purely has this relationship with her where they just kind of connect mentally, I guess. Which is interesting. Like, I don't want to say that that's completely fake. At least it's like a human connection, unlike Kaori. Um, But I think the issue with Keiko is going to be that it's not who he thinks she is, right? Her last name is Higuchi. So I think there's something going on here. I don't think it's actually anything like the relationship he's imagining. Um, and maybe I'm gonna have to wait to really see like how that fleshes out exactly to say much more about it. I don't know, because I guess there's like some interesting stuff you can think about in that sense of like what does it mean to have a relationship with someone where you don't actually like know them or interact with them in any way, right? It gives him the opportunity to lie about himself and his position. And I guess in that case that makes sense because he has this fear of like opening up and like that's why it was so hard for him to like speak English, you know what I mean? Um I don't know. For Keiko, I feel like I'm really gonna have to wait and see like where we go with that to form much more of an opinion on it. Kind of for Kaori too. And then Hanuki is just like a real person that he could actually have a relationship with. And just like everything else, he literally can't do it, right? He can't make the decision. He just can't do it, right? We'll talk about that more when we get to that scene later. But man, oh man. Hmm. So we start off as always joining circles, but he says he joined many circles this time. We don't actually see any of them other than the English circle. But I'm guessing next time when we go back to like the same universe this time, it's gonna be we're gonna see the other circle he joined. He still joins all three, but I'm gonna assume that he did join another one, right? What's to join English? It's actually very interesting, like his reasoning for wanting to learn English. Um, like he thinks it's gonna open his horizons, give him more opportunities, basically. Which again, it's so interesting, right? Like he wants to maximize what opportunities exist for him and like maximize the number of decisions he could possibly make, essentially. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to actually make a decision, and he hates making decisions, right? Making decisions is terrifying for him. He can't do it. Um, but he wants to make these choices in his life, like learning English, where he will have the most possible decisions open to him. You know what I mean? And that's what leads to the fear of actually making a choice is he has all of these possible options open to him, but when he makes one, those others two disappear because he's made that decision, right? So this is just going to make it worse, literally, right? Like in a decade from now, when he knows English really well and he has all these choices in life of what to do for like a career or something, it's just going to lead him to even more choice paralysis if he doesn't have this fixed by then. But like, yeah, it makes sense with his mindset. That's why he's so resistant to making a decision in the first place. So it makes sense why he would want to learn English with like this reasoning. Not encumbered by the arrogant sense of shame or enlarged self-pride of the Japanese people. I got some bad news for you about people who speak English, buddy. I don't know. And yeah, it is rough. He can't do it. And I think it's hard for him to speak English because for one, for anyone learning a new language is like rough. It's really hard. You know what I mean? Like even for me, I feel like embarrassed uh trying to share any amount of knowledge I have about like Japanese and like in these videos, because it's literally just saying anything in a different language that you aren't fully comfortable with. It's so hard to do. It makes you so self-conscious and so embarrassed. Like it's actually like so difficult that I don't know. It's fear of just being wrong, fear of just looking stupid. Of course, yeah, of course it makes sense. And for someone like him, it's gonna be awful. Ah, man, who take pride in being a man of few words. Hmm. And yeah, I just feel like that fits for him, I guess. And he goes with his feelings. He learns to talk about Ozu. Actually, no, that's in a minute. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. And she rants about the sexual harassment dentist Kubazuka or Kubazuka. So good, 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 good. We talk about Ozu yet again. So I guess Ozu, we confirm it if it wasn't already confirmed before this, about how like Ozu is really in all of these circles and is involved with all of them every time, and it's just like our main character is in a different place in the universe every time. But I guess the assumption here or the implication is Ozu is actually doing all of this shit in every timeline. You know what I mean? And that's why he always ends up running into him every time. And this is interesting how like our main character ends up like cheating. He uses a report writing service that Ozu runs, so that so that he has enough time, I guess, right? Because he did join three circles. He's kind of sacrificing his scholarly life for this. Hmm. He won't rest unless discord is ringing out for all around him. I just don't know if that's true. And this is what I like, right? Like Hanuki brings up that he should talk about him in English, and we even get imagery later of Ozu like tucking in his chair for him and doing all this stuff for him, and Ozu being the motivation that our main character has to speak English and open up like that. I think it makes so much sense. It works so well because Ozu really is like his best friend, and Ozu is the person that like actively seems like he fights against our main character's crazy like mentality about everything and his life. You know what I mean? Like it's like Ozu is the person who lets him enjoy his college life despite it not being perfect, essentially, right? Again, of course, like looking back on it, he would never admit that, right? Um, but yeah, that just makes sense to me. That Ozu would be the person who like lets him open up, I guess. It's just yeah, seems perfect to me, I guess. Ozu's the goat, essentially, is the point. It's very nice imagery that he wrote on the. How long did this take, huh? And we go to the cafe. Apparently, he just hangs out at the cafe with her all the time for 2 years, which is just like, it's crazy that after being that good of a friend with her for this long, he is still unable to go out drinking with her. Right? And it's because of like what she said, right? He's so afraid of like even forming a deeper connection with her at this point. It's just crazy. Like his mentality is just, man, man, oh man. But I guess she's dating Higuchi, or at least was. I think that, yeah, that he neglects her. He's not a very good boyfriend. I guess they break up. That's why she's so down later. I assume that's it. I don't know. I don't know. What does she say here exactly? Ozu can be very devoted, and yeah, I think Ozu is devoted to you, if anything. But apparently, Ozu has a secret love to someone sheltered. I don't know. That's kind of who are people that we know who are sheltered? I'm trying to think. Like, oh, here, where was the line exactly? It was in here somewhere. Yeah, his partner has led a sheltered life. So I'm hoping the only person I can think of that we know is kind of sheltered. Well, I don't know. I was gonna say like Keiko, right? Her last name's Higuchi, related to the master. Ozi's related to the master. Um, and then the idea of them being sheltered, I guess, kind of makes sense because like they write him letters they've never met before. Um, but I don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll see. I can't think of who else you could say has a sheltered life. You know, I don't know. Oh, these are the letters, are they? These are the mailboxes. He has Kaori here for some reason. Joe Gasaki later says it's his post. He's like watching over her, I guess. After some happenings, sure. Hmm. And he specifically points out here that it's not a device to manage your sexual desires. He does have this weird relationship with sexuality. We'll talk about that in a minute. Um, Because yeah, I guess he doesn't view Kaori like that at all. It's really it's like wholesome from him, I guess. But I don't know. I don't know. Oh God, so what is all of this? Is this like like just from this what this says, aiming to become an international actor, vacation abroad, studying acting abroad. Is this just like a flow chart for all of the made up shit that he has told Keiko in their letters? That is insane. That is crazy. I think it is, right? Like why else would he be taking notes about that, About how he's been studying abroad in Paris and he's, you know. Oh my god. Obviously, like the fact that he feels the need to do that is just like shows his insecurity with himself and all of that, right? Man. Hmm. From now on, I will surely meet women one after another, keep meticulous dates in my date book, and whisper sweet nothings till I start coughing up blood. What is that even supposed to mean? And yeah, he doesn't want to make a decision. He's happy pondering it. Exactly. Exactly. Because he can just imagine that any of the decisions will work out. But then actually making one, he can't do it. It's impossible. So he turns down Hanuki, which is just crazy, right? Like he literally says it in his head. Oh, this means she must feel close to me, and his immediate response is to turn her down, which is just crazy. Like I guess it's just his fear of getting closer to her because of what you could think of that as representing. You know what I mean? Like getting closer to her. Um, it's almost like too close to making a decision, right? Which we just said that he's happy just pondering it, right? Oh, God. It just shows just how self-destructive and insane it is to think like this about anything. Like, man, come on. Hmm. But apparently, I guess he has more reason to turn her down, even though it's just stupid, right? Like, Jokisaki is coming back to take Kaori back. Who knows? He got a letter from Keiko who wants to meet up with him. I don't know how that's gonna work if it's actually the master, because her last name's Higuchi. I don't know. I don't know. The obvi and again, like the fortune teller later brings this. God, can I speak? The fortune teller lady brings this up about how the opportunity is still dangling in front of his eyes, which is Akashi, who like I guess there's nothing no shade to Hanuki, but Akashi I feel like is the true opportunity for him, right? The one he's not even pondering, which is it's very weird that he has that attitude towards it. It's been because he's had that the whole time, and the whole story is just his weird attitude towards her, and not even wanting to consider her. I guess she didn't even show up in this episode at all, which I don't know. Man, we get like a crazy shot here. We have a drinking contest with Jogasaki. It's so weird that he turned down Hanuki in the first place, but when he shows up and sees that she's drinking with Jogasaki, he feels like personally offended, and that he has to get in a drinking contest with him to like prove himself. You know what I mean? I guess it's like the Ozu dynamic. You know what I mean? He is so motivated by like the sense of jealousy that someone else is getting something that he feels like he should have. Um, and that motivates him. But actually making the decision before seeing someone else having it, right? That it's like he just can't. He can't do it. I don't know. And I guess in that sense, it also makes sense why Ozu was such a strong motivator for him because he's like jealous of Ozu. You know what I mean? Like Ozu obviously enjoys his college life despite it not being perfect, right? Yeah, makes sense to me. Perfect. Just like Jogasaki in this scene with Hanuki, right? They're just like crumbling apart as they drink. It's very good. I'm surprised that main character wins. I don't know. I thought he was a loser, but he did it. Barely. I guess they kind of tied, but Jogasaki just collapsed more. And we go to a whole bunch. We drank a whole bunch. Oh boy. We're going back to her house, and the cowboy inside of him starts waking up. Oh god. Oh god. And I guess let's talk about it. Let's talk about his weird relationship with sexuality and like what he's thinking here, right? Like, so I guess what I relate it to is, I suppose, socially, we have the idea of losing your virginity as being like a very big important thing, right? Even though obviously it like doesn't actually matter. There's no like it's a purely socially determined thing that we've decided losing your virginity is this giant huge big deal, right? And our main character, all of his motivations and everything he thinks about is very much like socially determined. You know what I mean? He really wants to have like a perfect life, but it has to be perfect in the sense of like other people knowing it's perfect, like in the last episode where he was talking about how other people would be really jealous of him hanging out with the perfect woman, um and so I think it's clear that he thinks a lot and he worries a lot about these weird social pressures like that. So him being so incredibly focused on when and how he loses his virginity, and him viewing it as his pride as a civilized person and all of this, I think it makes sense, right? Why it's basically like just making a big decision, and we know that he can't do that. It's just impossible for him. So yeah, it makes sense. I guess it makes sense to me that he would be like this crazy and neurotic about it and be unable to make the step to, Obviously, the lines of consent here are a little bit blurred because Hanuki's like really drunk. So like in terms of like an actual moral choice, but the main character brings that up like very vaguely, but I don't think that actually has anything to do with his decision making at all. So I think we can just ignore that. I don't think that actually like that's just like a convenient excuse he could use for why he's acting like this. Like man, and she struggles to put the key in. It's very yeah, very very good. Because like he wasn't even able to ask Akashi to hang out at the festival with him, so like no way he's gonna be able to do this. Like, come on. And obviously, even though she's drunk, like I don't know, she's the one, pushing onto him. Of course, like obviously, still, if she's like literally insanely drunk, that doesn't really matter. But I don't know. I don't know. I just feel the need to talk about it because I guess it's like it is a factor in the scene. And it's like he views her as like, I don't know, like a devil tempting him, and he has to like be strong and resist it. It's such a weird way to view like his feelings. I don't know. It's so weird. I guess that's like how he views Ozu too, you know what I mean? Ozu for just like, I don't know, his entire life as like a social life, I guess, in that case. In this case, it's like a romantic relationship, I guess. Um, I don't know. It's just so weird that he views her like this, like she's a I don't know, like a succubus who's gonna murder him if he gives in. What a shot! What a shot! She's a little bit freaky, but maybe that's what he wants. Although he does run away, so maybe not. Off to the bathroom. We can't do it. Ah, it's a cockroach. Gotta run away. Can I be called civilized? Oops. Go back. Come on. Can I be called civilized if I allow myself to be controlled by my desires of the hour? Like, what are you talking about? Just literally, what is he talking about? Like, that's just insane. It's just crazy. Like, it's just such a bad way to view anything. Can I keep my pride taking advantage of a woman falling over from too much alcohol? Okay, like, again, the lines of consent, I guess you could say it's blurred. But I think he's just making this up. I don't think this actually has anything to do with his decision making in this moment at all. I think if she was, because even if she wasn't drunk at all and she was coming on to him like this, he would react in the same way, obviously, right? I just don't believe for a second that this is actually his reasoning at all. I just do not believe it. So, man. Hmm. I guess like it's like he very logically wants to make every decision with like the perfect, like he wants to have like a map of all of the events that he thinks is ever going to happen from every decision he makes, and he wants to make the best decision at all times and all of that. So I guess it makes sense that he would view his like a basic human desires and feelings like this, things that he can't really perfectly control, that he would view them like this, that he needs to lock it away, and that he can't give into it, right? That it's just. I mean, even basic stuff like spending time with friends falls into that category. And we know that he thinks of that as a waste of time too, right? And that's a bad thing. Man, man, oh man. As one is lonely partnering with someone they don't have a burning passion for. Seeking a partner based purely on desire is inexcusable. It's just crazy. It's just what are you talking about? like desire, not even just sexually, but just in general, just someone that you are desire, you know? That's just, it has to be the perfect person. It can't just be someone that you are interested in. Of course, obviously. Like, yeah, that's a really good way to view things, man. Hmm. And yeah, when is the opportunity if not now? Like, oh my God. But it's yeah, it's because this is an opportunity, because this is the time to make a decision, to make the choice. No, he can't do it. It has to be perfect. He has to go back. He has to make sure it's all, set up properly. Obviously, obviously. The bonds between a man and a woman can't be tied so simply. And yeah, that's really what it goes back to, right? Is his fear of being in a relationship with someone because of it representing like a bond tied between you and them, you know? Yeah, yeah. It man, of course, of course. He fell asleep in her bathroom. I feel like he couldn't have been very comfortable in there. And Ozu is the goat and was, I don't know, putting all the pieces back together. And if anything, and obviously the fact that she decided to drink with him, knowing that she would react like this, like, man, he's stupid though. But again, I guess it just doesn't matter, right? She could have come on to him no matter in any situation, and he would have reacted like this no matter what, you know? Because even with Akashi, he reacts like this, you know? Like when he approached her in the first episode to try and ask her to hang out for a little bit, he couldn't even do that, you know? It's why you can never fulfill their promises, you know? Considering your looks, that's about all you could expect. That's mean. And yeah, I guess she had to go to the convenience store because he locked himself in her bathroom. And yeah, he felt slightly relieved he gets to continue pondering the decisions instead of making one. But instead, he just didn't. His pondering is over, right? Keiko's gone, Kaoru's gone, and he didn't do anything with Hanuki. So, I guess he's relieved now that he can return to not having made a decision, and the opportunity is still open to him. You know, he can still grasp onto the theoretical concept of the perfect relationship. I guess you know, but he's got to look at the opportunity and do nothing about it. Of course. And we're going back just a few hours. So sounds good to me. I'm very curious about what we're gonna say about like the other potential options he has here. You know, I don't know. I don't know. It's very interesting. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't know. I feel like I kind of rambled a lot there, and I don't know. I don't know if anything I said was very sensical, but that's okay. But that was a good episode. Yeah, that's about it. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Subscribe maybe if you enjoy my videos, please. And I will see you in the next one.